Hi everyone, welcome to iMike's FIA race at Maggiore West on Christmas Day, mind you. This was another race where I thought I'll start at the back and no pressure again and see how I go. But I thought I would just hop out on the track and just get a bit of practice. Don't want to start the race without any laps, I guess, and get out there cold. So eventually I thought I'd hop out and give it a run. Like I said, it is Christmas Day, so if there's any slow drivers out there, you'll probably find they've had too much Christmas pudding. So out I go, and each lap I just go and do a lap and then pit, do a lap and pit. I wanted to make sure I was last, but I was mindful of the lap times, and you can see there it was 1:39.8, and I thought that's not all that fast. So I just thought I'll give it a go and see. I reckon I can beat that. But the time started running out. 2:10 finish. And just by 1 second. So my original plan of starting at the back still remains. And the humming begins. Racing on Christmas Day, yeah, yeah. So today was a bit of a weird day. Weird as in, I had a number of people contact me asking, like Brennan Lee initially, saying, can I connect? Which I didn't understand what he was talking about. Did I have problems connecting? I said no. And then a bit later I had messages from other people just commenting on they could not get into the game. Then Big Bruce the Shark. And I thought, oh, maybe it's bushfires and Telstra are taking down some of their internet connections, or they've got damaged. But Brandon Lee was saying he couldn't connect either. So I was at a loss there. So today was a bit of a troubled day for some people. You can see in the startup here there's I think the favourite is the Ferrari F50, but there are still people using like their Ferrari F50. There's a Getty, there's the Supra, I think, BMW, Audi, bad choice, and then me in the Expo. So starting last, and hard tyres first because I'm right at the back. I thought I'd go hards. So just checking my settings are right, and I'm going to see if I can add some commentary to this, make it a bit more interesting. So pretty good start, passing the Audi, and be mindful of first corner, brake a bit early, making sure not to slam into other people, and then I gun it here a bit, and I forget I've got hards on, so good old Dumpy gets past. So back into last place. So going for another shot, another attempt, and that was a bit of a bingle, like in a car park. Didn't really work out. So I feel like I'm being held up a bit here, but no one else's fault but my own. Now I can see here there's a lot of cars banking up, and to be honest with you, I was a bit fearful of actually trying to get into that group. I just was worried that I'd try and get in and I'd get knocked off the track, so I thought let's have a break and pit, and in front of me is Ripdoced Ed. So, bit of an unusual strategy, pit on lap 1, but that's the hards out the way. So Ripdoced Ed, probably, he did start further up, so he's had a bit of an issue and a time penalty. So he may be doing the same strategy from hards onto medium. So yeah, not your normal strategy, but as long as Ripdoced Ed and Iron Mike are clean, they should be able to get to the end on mediums. So here's Iron Mike making 2 passes on 1 straight. The advantage of the Expo is it's much lighter, so you can take corners a bit more easier, and the wear on the tyres isn't so bad. Not the fastest car on the track, it's probably at least a second slower than most other cars, but consistent. The tyres don't really wear down, so give it a few laps, other cars will begin to slow much more. So from 18th up to 16th. And at the moment, Ripdoced Ed is in last place. Iron Mike's just starting to break away from the last 2 drivers, getting a bit of clean air. Oh, and Ripdoced Ed has made a move. He's got past, so he's in 17th. And he'll be trying to chase down Iron Mike. Now, Iron Mike and Ripdoced Ed did both grow up in the same racing academy, so they've known each other for a long time. They've got enough respect for each other, so if they are to be challenging each other, expect it to be clean. Can Ripdoced Ed catch up with Iron Mike? So on the tyres, so far so good. Not having to battle people too much. It's been clean passes, nice open track. So at this point, Iron Mike and Ripdoced will both be looking for some slipstream to move up. And Iron Mike will be trying to chase down Muvik. And it does look like he's catching him, just like Ripdoced is catching Iron Mike. So it looks like 15th place might be up for grabs very shortly. Look at the weight difference. So the Expo can take more tighter line. Oh, and Iron Mike is in the slipstream now. He's caught up very quickly. Oh, he's sent it. Can he hold it? Yep, and covers the corner quite nicely. But can he keep that position? Looks like he was a bit blinded on that break point, so he was very lucky to get away with that. And now Ripdoced will be looking for a pass. It's very surprising the Expo did get past there. The F50 is quite strong in this track. And Muvik is going a bit wide there. It's like his tyres might be wearing a bit. So Ripdoced should be looking for an opening to get past. In the meantime, Iron Mike is getting away and looking for his next victim. Let's see if we can see this tighter inside line. Oh, what's gone here? So Adam Razor, looks like he went off track, so he's going much slower. I might just needs to cover the corners. Oh, hello. That was Ripdoced there. Oh, he's got past Muvik. He's trying to keep up with Iron Mike, who's moved up into 14th place. And there's a Getty out on the track. And it's looking very loose. So I might pass this quite easily. And Adam Razor. Oh, look at that move. So I might's back into 14th. Looking for a way past. Being closely followed by Ripdoced. There's not much separating Iron Mike and Ripdoced. Oh, and Atom Razor has gone wide, opening the door. So Iron Mike has got through. And you know what that means? If Iron Mike gets through, Ripdoced should be looking for a way as well. Oh, and that's Muvik going wide. So far Iron Mike and Ripdoced, or Ripdoced has had a penalty, but Iron Mike so far has been clean. No penalties. It's been fortunate to have not too many battles with people. And Ripdoced, it looks like he's making a move against Atom Razor. Yes, and he's... no. Almost. Yes, he's through. He's made it. This is great, clean racing by everyone. And once again, we've got Ripdoced trying to catch up, get in the slipstream of Iron Mike. And likewise Iron Mike trying to catch up to others in front. And I think it's Violent Aussie next. Oh, we've got some people pitting. Yep, Violent Aussie is next on the list. Let's hope he doesn't live up to his name and get a bit rough. So could Violent Aussie be slowing Iron Mike down, because Ripdoced is now starting to catch up. Ripdoced is well in the slipstream. See, it looks like Iron Mike and Ripdoced both are working as a team here. Just slowly moving through the pack. Is that Iron Mike trying to negotiate a pass? And it looks like he's completed it, but now he's on the outside. Nope. Oh, and Iron Mike's let Ripdoced through. Looks like Ripdoced has had enough and he's made a move. So he's put Iron Mike back to 12th. Ripdoced has moved into 11th. It looks like we've got a bit of a gaggle of cars ahead, which is something just Iron Mike just doesn't like. Doesn't like too many cars. This is where things can go wrong. So Ripdoced trying to make his way through. Yes, he's up to 9th. And there's Doc Pops in the picture. He seems to be falling behind. Could be tyre wear. Look at this mess of cars. So it looks like Ripdoced, he's doing really well. He's got to the front of the pack. Iron Mike is just slipping back a bit. But look at that, it's all clean. No one's getting pushed off. Can we all negotiate around nice and clean? 2 more splitting off for pitting. So that puts Ripdoced in 7th. Oh, Iron Mike's moved up to 8th. So they're back together. Iron Mike just cuts off Pop Docs a bit there, but holds 8th. Atom Razor just getting a little bit loose. Oh, hello. Someone's off. Someone's off. And we've got penalties as well, so a bit of argy-bargy eventually. But luckily, Ripdoced and iMike have been clear of it. So iMike and Ripdoced, they're slowly cutting through the pack. Let's see if we can get the weight. Yeah, look at that. That's the weight difference there. That was quite easy. More people going wide. That's Atom Razor again, so his tyres must be crying. Oh, look at that. iMike almost loses it. During the week in practice with Big Bruce the Shark, iMike went over those sausages and went off the track, so almost had a repeat there. Just got to be a little bit too careful on those. He's lost a bit of time there to Ripdoced. Now double JF 73, I think it is. He's I think he's just inside the slipstream of iMike. But on the quiet, he's yet to use hards. This is a race where hards are mandatory. Now, Ripdoced and iMike, they've both lap 1, used their hards, pitted, and they're still going on their mediums. And so far so good. Not too much wear. Where are we at? Lap 12 now. 6 laps to go. Ripdoced has just pulled away from iMike. WJF 73's just putting a bit of pressure on iMike there. So iMike giving it his all to get back in that slipstream. Keeping his lines tight. Being mindful of his pace, gear changing and tyre wear. It's concentration all the time. So you can see some of the front runners pitting, but they're still quite far ahead, so no threat to them. So you're able to get full acceleration, not too much weight in the expo, so not being thrown out to the outside. Let's see if iMike can catch up with Ripdoced. It looks like really it's the corners that is the strength in the expo. Just gearing up into fourth there to make sure there's no spinning out of the tyres. And here's the weak point. up this hill, try now change gear. It's an awful place to have a gear change up that hill. Still out of the slipstream. Oh, looks like Ripdoced has just gone a bit too far there. So iMike has caught up. And WJF73 still making himself known. So Ripdoced, I can't remember where he started, maybe 6th or 7th or 8th, but he did have a few issues with other drivers on lap 1, got himself a penalty, fell back quite a bit, pitted, then had to pay his penalty, so he fell right back. At one point he was in last place, just like iMike was. But together they've just pushed through the pack from 18th up to 6th and 7th respectively. Looks like I might be in the slipstream now. And fuel is depleting, so gear changes will be less of a problem now up that hill. And WJF73 is slowly falling behind, so his tyres must be letting go. Yep, iMike's in the slipstream now. So the question here now is, how does iMike pass and keep it clean at the same time? You know, the risk of trying to make a pass that goes wrong and both go off the track would be a nightmare. But he's been catching up since being in the slipstream. Ripdoced is pitting? No, he's not pitting, he's letting iMike pass. What is going on? Maybe he's realised iMike was at a faster pace and he's just let him through. That's the respect they have for each other. So now it's up to iMike to keep that pace going and not let Ripdoced down. So the question here now is, will Ripdoced make a comeback? Or will iMike pull away? And where is 5th? Now some people will run mediums through the whole race until the final lap and then go on hard. So WJF may pit anytime soon. Failure to put on hards, of course, is a 20-second penalty. And since most of the drivers, I guess, don't really pay attention to what everyone else is doing, you really need to push it to the end. So if someone is 10 seconds ahead, or even 18 seconds ahead, you've always got to keep in mind someone may not have pitted and get a 20-second penalty. So it's really now a case of push hard all the way to the end. So Ripdoced here, it's not falling away. Iron Mike's taking a few risky moments here, going over that sausage. And again, these two, they're like glue, they're just not separating. I've had exactly the same strategy, hards lap 1, pits and mediums, and they've gone all the way. And by the way they're racing, it looks like their tyres would be at the same level of wear, because you cannot split the two. So here we are, final lap. All drivers would be quite tired by now. Would be looking forward to the end of it. And that, you know, that's another part you've got to be careful of, not to get too complacent near the end. Pressure's still on, and as much as these two are good mates, they'll still battle it out to the end, I'm sure. But what an effort, from 18th to 6th and 7th. I think racing together, they've sort of encouraged and supported each other. Separate the two and you never know what would have happened. But they've both been leaders, both guided each other around the track. Final corner. Looks like Iron Mike's lifting there a bit. I think he's toying with Ripdoced. Yeah, he's lifting. He's slowing down. Oh, and Ripdoced is slowing down as well. What a race. Teammates, well done. Oh, what was that? Bit of a love tap going on there. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the race. I only did nations today. Excuse me. I didn't do manufacturers with the Mercedes. I just didn't have the what do you call it? I just didn't have the incentive. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the show and see you in the next one.